Okay, as we're back to the Classical High Gymnasium, I'm John Hoffman along with Jim Cafalis getting set for tap-off. We've had rather a long delay, and one of the problems we're going to have, Jimmy, is the clock isn't working properly, so we're not going to know how much time is left.
I guess we're going to have to connect the dots as we go along, John.
As we get set, it'll be Jeff Woods jumping for Salem, 44, jumping against Lincoln McKenzie, 33 for Classical. The rest of the starters for Classical, 12, David Anderson, 23, Flynn Menelese, 20, Robert Johnson, and 31, Carvel Cox. For Salem, along with Jeff Woods, it's number 40, Carlos Rivera, who is known in these areas. He's a Lynn transfer over to Salem from Lynn English. Number 3, Leo Jacobs. Number 31, Eddie Hammonds. And number 41, David Candelaria.
I'll tell you, players on both teams want to just get this game started. We've had 2 delays so far. They're itching to get this transition game moving and going.
It's an important game for both teams. Salem, of course, wants to keep their undefeated streak alive. And Classical does not want to drop 3 games out of first place. So now we're set, and we're getting ready to go as the ball's going to be thrown up between Jeff Wood and Lincoln McKenzie. Tap control by Salem and David Candelaria, and it's Eddie Hammond. He'll run the show for Salem. He'll be the point guard. Salem opens up 2-3. Classical opens up with 2-3 zone. Jeff Wood with the turnaround. Can't get the fall. Big rebound by Menelese. Kicks it out to David Anderson.
Super defense that time by Lincoln McKenzie. Put a little bit of pressure on Jeff Woods.
Salem opening up with the zone themselves. David Anderson trying to hit Lincoln McKenzie inside. Everybody thought the ball was thrown away, but the ref says no, it was tipped, so it'll be Classical basketball.
Certainly interesting, John. Both teams coming out in 2-3 right away.
Anderson with the long jump shot. Can't get the fall. McKenzie with a big rebound. Lays it in. Classical right away goes into full court pressure. Very tough to press Salem with the 2 guards they have, Hammonds and Jacobs.
Classical right now is just trying to shake Salem up a little bit early in the game, see if they can get a quick turnover.
Just token pressure, actually, by Classical full court pressure. Hammond gives it to Jacob. The long jump shot, no good. It's going to go out of bounds. Classical basketball.
John, look for the Salem kids to really try and get the ball down low to Jeff Woods to get Lincoln McKenzie in foul trouble.
Salem with the pressure on Carlos Rivera. Fouls Carvel Cox. First foul in the ball game is against Rivera, so it's 1 on Salem and 1 on Rivera. Classical leading 2-0, really going. As we said, it would be a track meet. Both teams pressing, both teams pushing the ball up. Robert Johnson to Anderson. In the corner to Cox. Goes to the basket, can't get the shot to fall. Wood with a big rebound. Hammond pushing it up to Salem. Hammond in the paint, takes a jump shot, no good. Flynn Menelese with a big rebound. Cox ahead to Johnson.
I'll tell you, early in the game, the Salem kids look a little bit tight right now. Lynn Classical seems a little bit looser this early.
Robert Johnson with a 3-point shot. It's good. It's a 5-0 lead. Again, the full court pressure by Classical.
Look for Salem to look for David Candelaria on the left baseline side this time down.
Rivera with the jump shot. Can't get the foul. Carvel Cox with a big rebound. Pushing it up court. Loses the ball in traffic. Eddie Hammond, off foot. Goes strong to the basket, lays it in.
I'll tell you, John, as I said earlier, neither team is going to slow down this game. This is going to be a high-powered transition game.
Flynn Menelese. They say it bounced off Menelese's foot, so it's Salem basketball.
Yeah, Flynn just didn't look to pass in there. The ball slipped off his hands, off his foot, and out of bounds.
So it's Eddie Hammond walking it up court.
What Classical's trying to do right now, John, is match up to Eddie Hammond. Eddie's their best player. They're trying to match up.
Jeff Wood with a fine move, can't get the ball. Jacobs fights for it, knocks it out of bounds.
That's an excellent call by Jack Laysbrook right there.
Classical pushing the ball up court against the pressure. 3 shots. 3-point shot by Carvel Cox is up and good. timeout right here.
I'll tell you, as I said a little earlier, I think the Salem kids, even with a little bit tense in warm-ups tonight, a little bit tentative early in the game. I think David Candelaria has to start coming to the forefront to give him a few good moments.
They're using a man on Manalese. Rivera's chasing Manalese all over. Anderson can't get the shot on the floor. It's on the floor. Ball still loose. McKenzie comes up with it, lays it in! And the foul's going to be on Jeff Woods. First foul on Woods, and Salem takes a timeout. As Glasgow goes a commanding 10-2 lead. So far it's been Glasgow getting good quality shots. Salem is just not getting second shots. They're getting one decent shot, but Glasgow boxing out, getting the rebounds, and pushing the ball against the pressure and getting good shots.
Sure, the Glasgow kids seem like a real confident bunch right now. I think in order for Salem to get back in this game, they're going to have to do it on the defensive end. And what they did that last time down, John, they switched to their diamond-and-one defense on Flynn Manalese. The problem was Jeff Woods got a little bit lazy on defense. Lincoln, ever present, got the rebound, laid it up, and got fouled.
And actually, it's a bonus. Not that Lincoln McKenzie can't score. It's just they don't look to him to score when you get a Flynn Manalese and a David Anderson and a Carvel Cox and a Robert Johnson. He gets what we call garbage points, but they're very important points. And he got a loose ball, laid it in, and picked up a very quick foul off Jeff Woods. And it's 2 fouls to Salem, 0 fouls for Glasgow. And right now the pressure is not bothering Glasgow at all in the backcourt.
No, I think Coach O'Brien come into this game had told me earlier that he just didn't want Flynn Manalese to go off. He didn't want him to have any 25 or 30-point games tonight. So other people are doing it. You see Lincoln McKenzie here, Carvel Cox earlier.
McKenzie's at the foul line shooting. He makes the shot. So McKenzie has 5 points. Glasgow has 11. Salem still looking for their second basket. Salem beat the pressure that time. Glasgow turned up a little bit of a notch that time. Eddie Hammond looking to go to the basket. Jacobs, strong left-handed, no good. Carvel Cox with a big rebound for Glasgow. Robert Johnson will be the point man for Glasgow most of the time.
Salem right now in their diamond-and-one defense versus Flynn Manalese. This is going to leave a spot open here for Carvel Cox or David Anderson.
And you don't want to leave Anderson open because he'll burn you as easily as Manalese will. Another 3-point shot's no good, but Anderson gets the rebound, takes the jump on it, it's good! And it's a 3-pointer for David Anderson.
Once again, John, here's a steal.
Manalese with a big steal, lays it in!
Once again, John, on the offensive end, the inability of Salem to box out the Glasgow kids has hurt him early.
And Salem losing a little bit of their composure here. Jeff Woods hits the jump shot.
And now Salem ups the pressure.
Salem beat the pressure rather easily that time. I don't think Tommy Grass says that's the kind of shot they were looking for.
No, that's a bad shot by David Anderson right there, and it could lead to 2 easy points for Salem if they're patient enough here in the zone offense.
Looking inside as Jeff Wood finally gets the control of the ball. Not a good shot by Jeff Wood either. And it's Carvel Cox pushing the ball up. David Anderson, Manalese saves it. Anderson with the shot from the corner, no good. Manalese with the rebound. Lays it in!
I'll tell you, what I'm seeing right now, John, is a tremendous amount of balance from the Lynn Classical Rams.
Carlos Rivera can't get a shot to fall. Manalese with a big rebound. It's Robert Johnson going strong to the basket. The shot doesn't fall, but it's going to go to the foul line. And it's Glasgow really getting the transition game going in gear.
I tell you, John, what's causing that transition game is very uncharacteristic of the Salem Witches. They've taken 3 or 4 bad shots already in this game. Something Coach O'Brien harps on, doesn't want his players to do. So far early in the game, John, I see 3 or 4 bad shots.
It's a timeout. I'm not sure what the timeout's on. I think it's Salem. But right now, Classical is beating that pressure simply by throwing over the pressure, and they're winding up with 3-on-2, 4-on-2, 3-on-1, and they're getting good quality shots. And Salem is not doing the same against the Classical pressure.
Not only that, John, a lot of critics in this area feel that the Salem Witches can't be trapped. They feel that Eddie Hammonds and Leo Jacobs and the other guards, people who handle the basketball, are too good. I'll tell you, the Classical Rams are doing a great job right now in their full court press.
Well, they're making those two guys give up the basketball. When you do that, you have the big people handling the basketball. Then you can come up with the steals because they're not used to having the ball that far away from the basket.
Yeah.
People like Jeff Woods and Candelaria.
Sure, and then also Lincoln McKenzie here in this first quarter is doing a hell of a job on Jeff Woods down low in the zone defense.
Well, we watched in the Christmas tournament, we watched Classical get a big win against Weston in the opening round, and they had, I forget the young kid's name now for Weston, a fine center who was being looked at by Dartmouth, and in the second half, Lincoln McKenzie just did a tremendous job on him, and that was one of the reasons Classical got into the finals and eventually won it against St. Mary's because of Lincoln McKenzie's defensive work.
Well, I'll tell you, as we look at Coach Grasser here right now, I'll tell you, John, he's just going to bottle what he's doing right now. He doesn't want to lose this at all. This kind of tempo that Lynn Classical has started with.
We said it would be a high-scoring game. It has been for Classical so far. Unlike Salem, this is very uncharacteristic of Salem. They've got 4 points. And we played, as we said, we're guessing about half a period because we don't have the clock working for some reason. It worked during the JV game, but for some reason it's not working now.
I'll tell you, we said a little bit earlier that this game was much more important for Lynn Classical because if they lost this game, that would give them 3 losses in the Northeastern Conference and put them a long ways behind Salem in the standings.
I think we talked about it before the game started. Salem looked like they were relaxed because they were smiling, but the Classical kids looked like they were really prepared to play.
I'll tell you, what you're alluding to is correct, John. In the pregame warm-ups, we both spotted that Salem seemed a little bit tense, you know, a little bit smiles here and there, where Lynn Classical was all serious, you know, all business, ready to go.
Another turnover gives Classical the basketball. A pass inside to McKenzie. It's on the floor. He gets it back. The shot's blocked. It's still on the floor. We're going to get a foul, and it's going to be against Bob Ward, number 14 for Salem. They've made a couple of substitutions here, Salem has, trying to get something going.
Yeah, they have Bobby Ward in the game, and Roger Simmons has replaced Jeff Woods at the center spot. Trying to shake him up a little bit.
They're trying to find a combination that can put some points on the board. Anderson with the long shot from outside. It's deflected, knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Classical basketball.
I'll tell you, initially that was a good defensive block by Leo Jacobs on David Anderson.
Big steal by Eddie Hammonds on the inbounds pass. Pushes it, takes a little jumper from in the paint, hits it.
That's his game. That's easy Ed right there. When he's in transition, he's very difficult to stop.
You don't want him to start getting involved in the offense. He's been quiet. Caldwell Cox loses the basketball, gets it back.
I'll tell you, how about this though?
Off the glass and in. Strong move to the basket.
How about this though, John? Salem High has gone man-to-man right now.
That play was made by David Anderson, stealing the basketball. Salem really looking confused out there. They're not set on what they're doing at all. I know they had a game plan coming in, but they've really gotten out of it. Classical defense doing a great job.
Sure, on the offensive end, Salem needs to get some leadership out of Leo Jacobs and David Candelaria.
The foul's going to be on Bobby Ward again. That's the second. Classical has yet to commit a foul. They are now in the penalty. Classical, the rest of the half, will be shooting 1-on-1.
I'll tell you, Classical comes into this game, John, with absolutely no pressure on him at all. Salem's the favorite. Salem's supposed to win. Classical comes into their own gym here. So far, playing a hell of a game.
We missed a foul somewhere on the way because it is the 5th foul. So David Anderson will be at the foul line shooting 1-on-1.
Also, Coach Grasser has yet to use Duke Wilson from his bench. Duke, the last 2 or 3 games, has been giving them some great minutes off the bench.
David Anderson makes the first one. He usually gives Lincoln McKenzie a rest, and it's hard to take Lincoln out now. He's playing very well.
Yeah, his defense is superb, and he's staying out of foul trouble, which is the key for Lincoln McKenzie.
Anderson makes them both. It's a big 25 points, and they lead by 19.
see, as good as Salem's ball handling is, it's always good to press in this gym. We have a small gym. Classes got some quick athletes. As you can see, the pressure's starting to get the Salem Witches.
Candelaria can't hit the jump shot. The foul's going to be on Manalese. So it's the first on Classical here in the first period.
David Candelaria, senior captain for the Witches. From what I understand, John, David Candelaria is all set at Brewster Academy, prep school up in Maine. David's got to step forward right now and give the Witches some leadership. They seem to be struggling a little bit tense. David can alleviate that by giving them some good minutes.
It's a big 19-point lead, and I know the Salem fans in the stands are not used to this.
I'll tell you, they're kids though, John. You know, Salem's due to play some bad minutes, but I'll tell you, this game is not over. If Salem can put together 4, 6, or 8 points, you know, not in a lot of bunches, John. Get them small at a time. I think they'll be fine.
Right now, Salem cannot do anything well. The things they've been doing normally, now they go to full court man-to-man pressure. We'll see what works here, as Candelaria missed the first one and missed everything on the second one. It's going to be very tough for Classical not to beat this pressure because they're so quick.
I'll tell you what,
Cox is extremely quick, but there's a steal, but Robert Johnson gets it right back. Underneath, stolen away by Candelaria.
I'll tell you, Salem is forced to go man-to-man right now, down 25-6, trying to do anything to shake it up.
Jacobs with the shot, can't get the foul. The foul's going to be on Lincoln McKenzie.
I'll tell you, what's interesting also, John, we're early in the game right now. Salem High, during the early part of this year, has not played a lot of man-to-man. They've been in their special defenses, either 2-3 or a diamond and 1. Now, let's see how the Witches react when they have to go man-to-man full court against Classical.
So Jacobs at the foul line, shooting 2 for Salem. There's 13 seconds we've been informed left in the first period. Jacobs makes the first one. That's only the 7th point for Salem here in the first period. He makes them both. Anderson gets a block. Cowbell Cox with the basketball. Looking to go to the basket. Taken away, and we're going to get a foul on the play. Leo Jacobs gets fouled by Cowbell Cox. As the period comes to a close, it will not be a shooting foul. Classical's not in the bonus.
I'll tell you, that's very fortunate also, because that foul definitely preceded the buzzer. I'll tell you, Lynn Classical's really come out in this game like tigers. You know, in their own gym, they can sense it right now. They want to take this game from the Witches. And the Witches, like I said, John, a little earlier, they have to come back here and hopefully not do it all at once. It's very difficult to come back from a 25-8 point lead at the end of the first quarter.
We said it would be a high-scoring game, and Classical went out and made us honest by getting 25, but very uncharacteristic of Salem. As they said, undefeated. They've led in all junctures through their first 5 ball games. This is the first time they've been behind, and certainly by 17. And they've got to be talking themselves in the huddle because they can't get anything done. Their foul shooting is not well. Their passing is not good. Their shooting is off. And Classical can do nothing wrong.
Yeah, Coach O'Brien prides himself in defense. But right now, we're going to have to see the Witches get back in this game on the defensive end. Lynn Classical, as we all know, likes to score points on the offensive end. Therefore, it's up to the Witches to slow them down a little bit and get off an offensive sprint of their own.
They may have to come out. They have come out. They're going man-to-man, but maybe that little gimmick defense in the beginning hurt them because Classical doesn't have one athlete that beats it. They've got 4 or 5, and that might have hurt them early in the game because they let they kind of shut down Manalese early, but he still had 6 points in the period, working hard on defense with a couple of steals. And David Anderson with 5, Cowbell Cox with 5, Robert Johnson with 4, Lincoln McKenzie with 5. Just picked up the slack. Yeah,
and even more important also, John, I think the Classical kids sweated more that first period. I felt they wanted that period. They definitely got it.
David Anderson's going to get a breather here. Cowbell Cox is in the ball game. And it's Classical with the alternate possession, getting it to start the period. Cowbell Cox dumps it inside, but it's picked off by Salem. It's Eddie Hammond with the jump shot. Duke Wilson with the big block from behind.
I'll tell you, as I said a little earlier, Duke Wilson's been giving them some great moments off the bench in the last 2 or 3 games.
Jump shot from the corner by Ward is up and in. Ward hits the jump shot to start the second period.
And I'll tell you, the Classical kids aren't immune to a little bit of shakiness, as we can see here.
And now Duke Wilson throws the pass away.
I'll tell you, Jack O'Brien is giving Tommy Grasso a little dose of his own medicine right now.
You don't want to, as you said, with 19 points, the game, too much time left to think the game is over. Jacobs with the jumper, no good. The ball's going to be out of bounds off Duke Wilson. So it'll be Salem basketball.
I'll tell you, a little sideline also. We have a little pushing match between Lincoln McKenzie and Jeff Woods.
David Anderson's going to replace Cowbell Cox for Classical. Salem putting the ball in bounds on their offensive basket.
Look for Salem to go inside to Jeff Woods here, try and get an easy hoop down low.
Hammonds with the jump shot, can't get the fall. Candelaria with a big rebound. Off the glass, no good. Rebound by Middle-East, here comes out of the pack. All the way across court to Wilson. To Anderson. Goes to the basket, gives it to McKenzie underneath. No good, rebound by Ward ahead to Candelaria. Can't get the shot to fall. Wilson with a big rebound. Johnson, good defense that time.
This is going to be a track meet here, John. Neither one of these teams is going to slow down.
We said it would be up and down. Foul's going to be on Eddie Hammond.
I'll tell you, if there's one thing David Anderson can do at the high school level, he can definitely score points. I'll tell you, I can recall when I was coaching at Swampscott some 3 years ago, David lit us up for 36 points as a freshman.
He goes to the basket well, and he uses his body well. He draws fouls well. Sometimes he doesn't take the best shots, but he draws fouls doing it. Anderson, excellent free throw shooter.
And we have yet to see an outside game from Flynn Manalese, who, by the way, was Dave Anderson was the MVP of that St. Mary's tournament.
That's correct. Hammond beats the pressure, makes the little jump shot. Can't get the ball, goes out of bounds.
I'll tell you, that's a play right there. I felt Eddie should have gave the ball up ahead to David Candelaria for an easy layup.
That's not the best shot they got off that break. They could have got closer, and they settled for the jump shot. The foul's going to be against Leo Jacobs.
I'll tell you, the Salem kids are working at it. They're trying to get back in this game, but Lynn Classical still holds a 27-10 lead.
And this is what Salem has to do. They have to up the tempo on defense. They have to come up with some steals and be much more aggressive, and they're going to pick up fouls doing it.
I'll tell you, if Lynn Classical comes away with a victory here, this could really throw the Northeastern Conference into a little bit of a disarray, pulling Winthrop and Classical back into the race. Also Saugus.
Robert Johnson misses the free throw. Candelaria comes up with a big rebound. Jacobs with the jump shot. Hits it.
That was a great crossover move by Leo Jacobs, and he hit a jump shot over a flailing Lincoln McKenzie coming right at him.
That was a tough shot because Lincoln McKenzie he had right in his face. So we see Rick Brunson coming into the ball game now for Salem.
John, this kid Brunson is going to be a hell of a player. He's only a freshman right now at Salem High School.
McKenzie's shot is blocked, and it's Hammonds pushing the ball up court. Shot is no good. Manalese with a big rebound after Lincoln McKenzie kept it alive off the boards. All the way across court to Johnson. It goes over his head and into the stands. And Tommy Grasser wants a timeout. He shot a lead at 19 at one point, dwindled to 15, and Salem has the basketball. And as you said, Jimmy, this game is far from over.
Sure, and Tommy's well aware of how his team played against Saugus in this gym. Throwing the ball away, a lot of careless turnovers. He knows that Salem is talented enough to get back in this game, you know, if they continue to be careless.
He knows that Saugus had a big 18-point lead against Classical in this gym. And Classical fought all the way back to cut it down to 5, I believe. So he knows an early lead does not mean the game is over. And he's telling the kids right now, you're going to play 32 minutes. One period doesn't get it done.
Yeah, he's getting on him right now. Right now. You know, Coach Grasser told me before the game that he'd like to get a nice senior leadership type game out of Dave Anderson and Flynn Manalese. You know, obviously his two best players. So far, they're going along with Coach Grasser's plans.
Right now, the defense that Salem has put up seems to be working right now. Classical has made 2 straight turnovers here in the second period. And Salem trying to get back in the game. A basket here would bring them within 13, the closest they've been in a long time. Brunson goes to the basket, can't get the fall. McKenzie with a big rebound. Anderson pushing the ball up to Carvel Cox. Off the glass, no good. Rebound by Jeff Woods.
You see, that's an ill-advised shot by Carvel right there. He should be going to the basket.
Eddie Hammond gets the ball back, goes into the paint, takes the jump shot. Can't get the fall. Ball's knocked out of bounds. Off David Hanson, it'll be Salem basketball.
I see that Jeff Woods has pulled up a little bit lame right now, John.
Candelaria underneath gets fouled by Duke Wilson.
As I said a second earlier, John, Jeff Woods seems to have come down on an ankle sprain, maybe a knee sprain right now. He's limping. Could be a big factor in the second half here for the Witches.
Not a bad foul by Duke Wilson. It would have been an easy layup for Dave Candelaria. It's a non-shooting foul. Both teams are now in the penalty, so both teams will shoot 1-on-1 from here on in. Eddie Hammond. Brunson to Candelaria.
Coach O'Brien yelling at Ricky Brunson right there. Take that open jump shot if it's there.
Candelaria goes to the basket, gives it off. Big block by Dave Mendelese. They're going to call a foul. And the Classical fans, along with Coach Tom DeGrasse, don't like it. And I'm not sure it wasn't a clean block myself.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there. I think it's a 50-50 call. Coach Grassa doesn't look too happy by the outcome, but I'm sure Coach O'Brien's thrilled by it. And also, Bobby Ward has really given them a little bit of a lift off this bench. 3 offensive rebounds, you know, pressing people on defense. You got a few steals already.
They got a big basket, too. That's the second foul on Flynn Mendelese as Cox goes back to replace him. So it's Ward at the foul line, shooting 2. And he makes the first. So they cut the lead down to 14, could cut to 13, and it's not a big period by Salem. This will only be their 6th point. But Glasgow has yet to score a basket. They only have 2 foul shots so far in the period.
I think that can be attributed to the tough Salem defense.
And so far, in the second period at least, Glasgow's only getting 1 shot at the basket. Woods and Candelaria and Ward are controlling the backboards. Salem strictly man-to-man pressure now. Pass thrown away, picked off by Jeff Woods. Hammond gives it to Brunson. Goes to the basket. A nice pass, but Ward couldn't handle it. I think he thought Brunson was going to shoot the basketball, and he wasn't looking for the pass.
Yeah, so that was a great penetration move by Brunson.
Pass almost picked off by Brunson. Anderson does a nice job to get it back. Goes the length of the court. Can't get a shot to fall. Followed by Cox is up and in.
I think Lynn Classical is just being a little more opportunistic than Salem.
I think we got a foul on the play. The foul's going to be against Duke Wilson. That's his second. So Coach O'Brien, Eddie Hammond going to the line, shooting 1-on-1.
Coach O'Brien does not look pleased right now with the effort of his troops. I think he was very upset that his troops let Carvel Cox sneak in there for an offensive tap-in rebound.
And Cox does an excellent job doing that for Glasgow. He's done that quite a bit this year. He's a guard. He's a good rebounding guy. Johnson with a big rebound. Carvel Cox pushing the ball up court. Underneath to Johnson, he lays it in.
I'll tell you, this is not the same Classical team I saw against Saugus.
Picked off by Cox. Stolen back by Hammonds. Bodies all over the place. Hammond goes to the basket, can't get the fall. Candelaria with a big rebound. Lays it in. There's no room out here for the timid, Jim.
No. I'll tell you what we have here now, John, are 2 teams with a lot of city kids, and neither team's going to back off each other. Right now we have 2 rested subs coming to the game, Carlos Rivera and Leo Jacobs, replacing Bobby Ward and Ricky Brunson.
They gave us some good minutes. It's a 15-point bounce for Glasgow. If Annis can make both of these, they'll get right back to where they were at the end of the first period, a 17-point lead. We're halfway through the second period. Anderson Goes in and pops out. That was all the way in. Then it bounced out.
I'll tell you, what's interesting, John, is Lynn Classical's not having a good offensive second quarter, but neither is Salem. And we keep that 15-point bulge.
David Anderson makes the second one.
Classical coming to their full court trap right now.
So it's a 16-point lead now. Hammonds with Jacobs. Candelaria. Jacobs with the long jump shot, no good. Candelaria can't handle the rebound. McKenzie gets it. And it's Carvel Cox walking the ball up for the first time in the ball game, I think, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's important that Salem takes good shots, John. To get back in this game, it'd be nice to go inside and try and get Lincoln McKenzie into some foul trouble.
McKenzie can't make the shot. Jacobs gets the rebound. Pushed ahead to Candelaria. The little jump shot is up and in. So it's 32-18. I'm sure right now what Salem would like to do is get the lead down to 8 or 10 points at halftime. Anderson can't get a shot to fall. Lincoln keeps it alive, and Robert Johnson lays the ball in. Jacobs can't get the shot, but he draws the foul against Carvel Cox. That's his second.
I'll tell you, I'm amazed at the offensive board work of Bob Johnson and Carvel Cox. I think doing it, Lynn Classical's taking a few bad shots, and those two young men are there to pick up those easy rebounds and lay them back up and in.
They get way up in the air for guards. Both of those guys, Johnson and Carvel Cox, do a great job of rebounding. We have a violation. He missed the first shot, but there was a violation. So he's going to get 2 more.
Just a simple lane violation. You can't, when the referee hands the ball to the guy at the foul line, obviously you can't, everyone's got to stand still. You can't be moving inside that lane.
So Leo Jacobs takes advantage and gets the first one.
Look for Salem to come out in that full court man-to-man press right now.
Jacobs misses it. Cox with another big rebound. To David Anderson. Takes the jump shot, gets fouled by David Candelaria. First on Candelaria.
Yeah.
Both teams in the bonus, so Anderson will be at the line shooting 1-on-1.
Yeah, that's a tough defensive play for Candelaria. I'm sure his coach has told him that Anderson's got that trigger of a shot, and it's going up at any time, so he wanted to go out and contest that 3-point shot.
And we talked about David Anderson being able to draw fouls. He knew what he was doing. He got him up in the air and then stepped in and drew the contact. He gets the roll on the rim, it falls through. Anderson's got 4 points in the period, and they're all foul shots.
Yeah, if Anderson makes this foul shot, Classical's going to stay in that full court press. Seems to be bothering Salem a little bit.
Salem, long pass down court to Jeff Woods. Candelaria makes the save, going out of bounds. Carlos Rivera with the jump shot from the corner, can't get the fall. Knocked out of bounds by McKenzie. But a good job by McKenzie because Candelaria and Wood were right there to lay the ball in.
Look for Leo Jacobs here.
Inside the Woods. Taken away now. Jacobs gets the ball back. Outside to Eddie Hammond. Hammond with the long jump shot. Can't get the fall. Johnson is 3-on-2. He's getting Anderson and Cox with him. Pulls up. Shot blocked from behind by Wood. Knocked out of bounds by McKenzie. A nice play by Lincoln McKenzie.
I'll tell you, this is tit for tat here. Eddie Hammonds on the offensive end took a bad shot. Lynn Classical comes down in transition. Bobby Johnson made a bad decision on the break. And we had a great block. Who was that block by? Carlos Rivera, John?
That was by Woods. Jeff Woods. It's been end-to-end action here in the second period. Not much scoring. But they're really pushing the ball up and down court. Johnson almost with a big steal.
Hammonds is wide open on our side of the court over here.
Rivera goes to the basket. He's going to get fouled by Carvel Cox.
Yeah, that's a good play. That's a good call there by Jack Glazebrook. Salem High School, very patient in that zone offense. Spotted Carlos Rivera down low. Obviously, got fouled. He's got 2 shots coming. That's the 3rd foul on Carvel Cox. Rivera did a nice job using his body and drawing the foul. There you get a good picture of Carlos Rivera at the foul line. I'd say an interesting sideline about Carlos Rivera, John, is that He was at Lynn Classical last season playing JVs. And he also transferred over to Lynn English halfway through the year, and now he's at Salem High School. So obviously we have a little bit of bad blood here between the Witches and the Rams.
He found a home as he makes both free throws. And that's his first 2 points. It's a 15-point lead for Classical, 36-21.
I think we have a little mismatch here. Eddie Hammonds is covering Flynn Manalese. Flynn's stronger and can take Eddie to the basket.
Big defensive play by Candelaria. Tip the ball away. Strong play by Robert Johnson. Knocked the pass down. Luke Wilson comes up with a steal. Cross-court, big block by Simmons.
I'll tell you, that's a super defensive play by Roger Simmons. Johnson had the lane. Simmons come out from out of nowhere and got the block.
A lot of good basketball here in the second period. As we said, not much scoring, but end-to-end action. We're going to get a traveling call. Good defense on Flynn Manalese.
Yeah, Flynn anticipated that David Candelaria would try and go to the basket, put a little bit of pressure on him, cause the turnover.
Robert Johnson gets the timeout. A lot of pressure on by Salem that time. Classical had a little difficulty, so Johnson did the right thing, called the timeout.
Yeah, you know, it seems like Salem is giving a much better effort right now, John, but you know, it's still a 15-point lead. The Lynn Classical team is able to hold on to this cushion.
They've only cut 2 points off here in the second period, and it's been end-to-end action. Rebounding, it's very aggressive basketball by both teams, but not that much scoring after a big 25-point period by Classical, and that was the difference. Salem just came out really ice cold and could do absolutely nothing, attributed to the Classical defense, I think.
Yeah, I think Salem come out in the first period here, very tentative. Lynn Classical, the aggressor at home. Right now, the spread's 15. Look for Salem High to put even more pressure on to get a few steals.
I looked before the game. We had a little delay waiting for an official. Actually, John Jaworski filled in. He was not supposed to do the game. David Anderson, sitting on the bench, looked at me and said, I want to get going. I'm ready. And I think he spoke for the whole Classical team because they were all ready.
Yeah, well, David's not exactly your best practice player. He'd like to get out there and play in the games.
Robert Johnson using his speed, strong to the basket. Can't get the foul. We get a foul. I think it's going to be against Candelaria.
I'll tell you, Johnson was very fortunate right there. I thought he was really out of control, took a bad shot. I think the Salem kids, I think the foul was on Candelaria, did a favor by fouling him.
He took the words right out of my mouth to me. I was going to say they got a break, they got the ball back. He didn't take a real good shot. But when things are going good, things are going good. Johnson makes the first one. We got less than a minute to play in the first half. And it'll be the same lead at the end of the first. They missed the second shot. I was going to say it would have been the same lead as it was at the end of the first period. But it's a 16-point cushion. Candelaria hits Rivera underneath, uses his body well, can't get the foul. Candelaria with a big rebound, lays it in. Fine job by Dave Candelaria.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of damage I was thinking that Candelaria could impound upon the Classical Rams. Very aggressive offensive rebounder, as you can see by his effort in the first half here.
Johnson being covered by Jacobs. Outside, Classical will be content maybe to run it down for one shot now. They're going to hold it out for one. Cross-court, dangerous pass to Johnson. Anderson pulls it back out. Anderson goes to the basket. It's an offensive foul, I think, on David Anderson.
Yeah, that's a great defensive play by Roger Simmons there. Anderson penetrated, very out of control. There you go, offensive foul on David Anderson.
So Salem with a big chance to cut into this lead. Hammonds, the ball's on the floor. As the buzzer sounds, the half is going to come to a close. So it's a big 37-23 lead for Classical at the end of the first half. And it's strictly a team effort here in the first half.
Sure, and as they're going off the floor, the Classical kids are taunting the Salem kids, getting on them a little bit.
So stay with us, it'll be an exciting second half.
Get up. Safety belt test at 9. Hurry.
Not another windshield taste test. Count me out.
What? The old pro backing down from a motorhome?
Nothing like that. I'm just tired of trying to convince people to wear safety belts. No one's listening.
Safety belt saved Barbara Mandrell.
You're right. Someone listen. Let's hit the road.
You hungry, partner?
Let's do some donuts on the way in.
Good idea.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
As we start the second half with the alternate possession rule, it'll be Salem putting the ball in court, at half court, excuse me. They trailed by 14 points. And they got a big road to hoe here.
I'll tell you, it's important that Salem doesn't try and get all the points at once. Chip away and get that lead down.
Shot's no good by Rivera. It's Cardell Cox again with a big rebound. Salem now, man-to-man pressure. Cox goes into the lane to Johnson, back out to Anderson. Goes in the paint, takes a shot and hits it.
I'll tell you, that's just great offense. Bobby Johnson had a chance to shoot. Carvel had a chance to shoot, but he gave it up to David Anderson for an easy shot.
And they showed good patience. Classical showed excellent patience. And the pressure bothered Salem that time. Cross court to Hammonds. The long jump shot from the corner is no good. Another big rebound by Carvel Cox.
I'll tell you, Carvel Cox is one of the finest high school rebounders for his size that I've seen in a while. He's a very tough kid down low.
He gets way up in the air, and he's not a timid young man. He'll go in and bang. And that's what you have to do if you're going to be a rebounder. And that's what he does. He does a fine job.
I think, John, it's easy to analyze this and that, but I think in that first half, Classical just wanted this basketball game a lot more than Salem High did.
I don't think there's any question. Anderson with the shot, blocked slightly. Lincoln McKenzie gets the ball. They call it a jump ball. Lincoln McKenzie's looking for a foul, but it was blocked. They're calling it a block.
That was an opportunistic play by Eddie Hammonds. Lincoln had an easy layup. Hammonds came in, swiped at it, forced the turnover.
With the alternate possession rule, Classical gets the ball out of bounds. The inbounds pass knocked out of bounds by Candelaria. So it's Anderson putting the ball in play. Gets it to Bobby Johnson. Classical looking to isolate, sending picks for David Anderson, being covered by Carlos Rivera. Inside, picked off by Jeff Woods. He can't hold on, bouncing off his foot out of bounds.
Yeah, I think Jeff is just trying too hard right now, John. He should relax a little bit, get situated.
Anderson with the turnaround jump shot, can't get the fall. Rivera with a big rebound for Salem. Candelaria gives it off to Rivera, who goes to the basket. Can't get the fall. Woods with a big rebound, lays it in.
Okay, that's the kind of basketball Jeff Woods is capable of playing when he's playing it straight and playing it aggressive.
That's his first basket since very early in the first period. Big pressure put on by Salem. Carvel Cox chases it down after Hammonds almost came up with a steal. Cox with the long shot, no good. Rivera with the rebound.
I'll tell you, if Classical keeps shooting shots like that, Salem's going to get back in this ball game.
Inside to Jeff Woods, goes to the basket. Can't get the fall, gets his own rebound, lays it in. And it looks like the game plan for Classical is to try and go inside to Jeff Woods now.
I'll tell you, who's been awful quiet, John? Flynn Menelese. David Candelaria is doing a heck of a job on him right now. Kind of frustrating Flynn.
Anderson gets it to McKenzie. Can't get a shot to fall. He misses the layup. Woods with another big rebound. Salem has a chance to cut it to 10. Candelaria misses the shot. Menelese with a big rebound. Pushes up. David Anderson went there. He pulls the ball out. Gives it to Robert Johnson outside. Menelese with the off-balance jump shot. No good. Woods goes high in the air to get the rebound.
I'll tell you, he's starting to dominate those backboards now.
Jacobs off the glass and in.
I think Lynn Classical needs a timeout right now. Salem seems to be getting a little more aggressive, a little more confident, getting themselves back in this ball game.
They've got the lead down to 10. It was a big 19 in the first period. Anderson answers with a big basket.
That's why they call him the Pearl, after Earl the Pearl Monroe.
Hammonds gives it up nicely to Jacobs. Goes to the basket. Good body control by Jacobs as he lays the ball in. Taken away by Eddie Hammonds. Tripped from behind by Carvel Cox, and that's going to be his fourth foul.
I'll tell you, that's a key foul right there on Carvel Cox. Coach Grasser is forced now to go to his bench. Even though Duke Wilson is playing good basketball for Coach Grasser, it hurts to lose Carvel. He's doing such a good job on the offensive boards, John.
Plus the fact with the pressure, you've got 3 guys to bring the ball up court.
I'll tell you, this is great basketball. This is the best. You can't beat this for high school basketball in the North Shore area.
It's super, and you got to give credit to the Salem basketball team. They haven't quit. They were down 19 points.
I'll tell you, just like Bob Uecker, we got the best seat in the place, John.
Candelaria with the jump shot, no good. Duke Wilson with a big rebound. Pass goes ahead to Manalese. The jump shot, no good. Rebounded inside by Bobby Ward. Eddie Hammonds taken away by David Anderson. Robert Johnson goes the length of the court, can't get the fall. Manalese with the follow, lays it in. That play was set up by David Anderson with the big steal at half court. And Manalese was Johnny on the spot to lay the ball in. Jacobs all the way, lays the ball in.
Now Leo Jacobs starting to take over this game on the offensive end for the Salem Witches.
This is the kind of game we thought it would be before the game started. We were a little bit shocked ourselves at the way the first period went.
I'll tell you, neither team is scared of the other team. They're going to keep coming at each other.
Both teams were great athletes. Robert Johnson with a long 3-point shot, no good. Manalese gets a big rebound. Can't get it to fall. McKenzie with a big rebound, lays it in. And the foul is going to be against Candelaria.
This is the finest basketball game that I've seen Lincoln McKenzie play in 2 years so far.
He's really there when they need him tonight. That's a big basket.
I'll tell you, I think Coach O'Brien should go back to Jeff Woods here. Jeff is really starting to get into the flow of this basketball game on the offensive boards, defensive boards, starting to score some easy baskets down low.
McKenzie completes a 3-point play.
Here it is, a cat and mouse game between Coach O'Brien and Coach Grasser. Now Lynn Classical goes to their full court zone press, trying to shake up the Witches.
Carlos Rivera replaces Dave Candelaria. Jacobs with the basketball. Ahead to Simmons. Finally gives it off to Hammonds. Classical in their zone, they're 2-3. Hammonds with the long jump shot, can't get it to fall. Saved underneath. Robert Johnson used his speed to get the basketball. Duke Wilson with the jump shot. No good. Simmons with a big rebound, kicks it out to Hammonds. And they push it right back up court. Hammonds with a jump shot in the paint, hits it.
See, that's his level shot right there. 7, 8, 9, 10 footer. When Eddie Hammonds goes out to 18, 19 feet, he's just not strong enough to get it up there consistently.
Anderson kicks it off. Underneath to Manalese. A great pass by Duke Wilson as Manalese lays the ball in. Jacobs saves it to Ward. Hammonds controls outside. Now it's Jacobs.
Lynn Classical Rams staying in their 2-3 zone right now, obviously to protect against foul trouble, something John they've been prone to this whole season so far.
And they don't really have to worry about Salem going inside because Simmons is not the scorer that Ward is. It's a big steal by Manalese. The ball is deflected off Salem. It's going to be Classical basketball. He pointed in the direction of Classical, but he yelled red ball, so it's going to be Salem
that was
basketball.
a nice call. That ball went off Flynn Manalese's foot right there. Good call by referee John Jaworski.
Big steal by Flynn. He just couldn't get control of the basketball or he would have been off to the races. Simmons goes into the paint, throws it up and hits it. Hammonds hits it. I'm sorry. That time his prayer was answered.
Oh, I tell you, if Roger Simmons could do what Eddie Hammonds could do.
Anderson to Duke Wilson from the corner. Can't get the ball. Manalese with a big rebound, lays it in. Jacobs, the foul's going to be on Duke Wilson.
I'll tell you, John, you know what's happened the last 3 times down on offense? Salem has been so preoccupied with their run and jump defense in the man-to-man, they've left Flynn Manalese wide open. Flynn has gotten 3 offensive rebounds, and it's hurt the Salem Witches here in the 3rd period.
And he can really hurt you because he goes to the ball so well. He goes to the glass so well. Either way, offense or defense. He's just an excellent all-around basketball player.
Yeah, but I feel he'll be a much better player, too, also, John, if he gets to work a little bit harder on the defensive end.
Jacobs tucks his head off the glass and in. Leo Jacobs having a big third period for Salem as the lead is cut to 11, 50-39.
I'd say it's very important that the Witches try and cut it to under 10 points heading into the fourth quarter.
Anderson holding the ball outside, being covered by Bobby Ward. Johnson in the paint. Anderson with the little jump shot around the rim and out. Menelese with another big rebound for Glasgow.
I think David Candelaria should be a little more occupied with Flynn Menelese on their boards.
Ball taken away. Eddie Hammonds underneath. Off the glass and in by Leo Jacobs. Steal by Jacobs. Throws it up and in. And all of a sudden it's a 7-point game.
I'll tell you, Leo Jacobs has personally brought Salem High back into this ball game.
12 big points here in the third period. Anderson off the glass, no good, gets his own rebound, cuts his head, lays it in. And the buzzer sounds. It's a big third period for Salem. Trailing by 14 at halftime. They cut 5 points off. They cut it down to 9. It'll be an exciting third period. Stay with us. We'll be right back with fourth period action.
People are not only living longer today, they're living better. The average age of these players is 73 years old.
Come on, man, you're swinging like an old lady.
The remarkable thing isn't that they still play baseball, but that they all had cancer, and they all survived. 1 out of 2 people who gets cancer gets well. Help us keep winning.
As we come back, we said it would be a high-scoring game. 52-43. Glasgow. Salem fighting back. They were down by as many as 19. They had it down to 7. Glasgow answered with a basket, making the score 9 at the end of 3 periods. Hammond, Jacobs, who got a big 12 points. 3 seconds on Roger Simmons, a big turnover for Salem.
Salem High right to their full court pressure, man-to-man.
Anderson gets the inbounds pass and beats the pressure. Salem staying in their man-to-man. Anderson with the jump shot, blocked by Simmons, blocked again by Simmons and Candelaria, and it's out of bounds.
Yeah, it's great defense by Simmons there, leaving his own man to help out on Anderson.
Inbounds pass to Duke Wilson, he lays it in. Taken away by Bobby Johnson. Glasgow has answered the challenge. Menelese with a long jump shot, no good. Rebound by Ward. Up ahead to Jacobs. Takes the jump shot and hits it.
If Salem's going to get back in this ball game, they have to do it on the defensive end. They have to stop Glasgow 2 or 3 times down court.
Jacobs is on fire here in the second half. He's got 14 points. Glasgow in no hurry here, looking for a good shot. Anderson with the long jump shot. Simmons with a big rebound. Hammonds with the jump shot. Hits it!
That's a 4-point play right there. The bad shot by Davey Anderson and the pull-up jumper by Eddie Hammonds. 4-point play, very important.
The lead is down to 7. Foul's going to be against Simmons, I believe.
No, I think the foul. No, the foul's going to be on Bobby Ward right there. I think he bodied up to David Anderson. Referee Jack Laysborough. That's a correct call right there. Bobby Ward, just an aggressive foul.
We get a timeout on the court, and Salem has really fought back here in the second half. Leo Jacobs has been on fire. He's got 7 baskets, 6 of them coming in the third period, as Salem cut the lead to 9 at the end of 3 periods. Now they've eaten into that. It's down to 7 now after being 19 in the first period.
Yeah, and look for Coach O'Brien to put Jeff Woods back in this basketball game. At the start of the third quarter, Jeff really did a nice job the first 5 minutes. Coach sat him down the last few minutes of the third quarter. Here we are, it's crunch time. I feel they should put Jeff Woods back in the game. How about you, John?
I think they just did, Jimmy. I think he was reported in just before the timeout, so Woods came back in along with Brunson, I believe. They're going to give Leo Jacobs a rest. But this shows what really a fine team Lynn Classical is. This is a team effort by Classical. Lincoln McKenzie, as you said, really came to play tonight. And that's the difference in the game. The Classical kids really came to play, got the big lead, and now Salem's worked very hard. And it's only fitting that Classical should be getting a little bit tired because they worked so hard to get that lead up where it was.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this game may go down to the wire. The Witches are just not going to quit, and they could get back in this game if they just play some pressure defense. Just like that.
Big steal. Bobby Ward with a big steal. Ball's controlled by Candelaria. Hammonds with the basketball.
I'll tell you, Rick Brunson's in the game right now. Rick Brunson's a zone breaker.
Brunson, what a move by the young freshman.
Rick Brunson is a transfer from Syracuse, New York, a freshman. A freshman
and a true freshman, too. What a great move under pressure. A steal. Underneath, laid up and in by Bobby Ward. And all of a sudden, it's a three-point game. Robert Torsen uses his speed to lay the ball in. Candelaria goes strong for the basket, but he's going to draw the foul. The foul's going to be on Lincoln McKenzie.
And you know, before you know it, it's 56 to 51. The Witches are back in this ball game. Just keep that sustaining pressure on Classical. Now, John, Classical, the pressure is on them to ward off that pressure of Salem.
And it's funny you should use the word ward off because Ward came up with a big steal down the other end and a big steal off the pressure after Bronson, also off the bench, made a big basket and cut the lead to 3.
Yeah, Bobby Ward is a three-sport athlete at Salem High. He's done a fantastic job tonight for Jack O'Brien and the Salem Witches.
Candelaria misses the first one. He's been quiet since he got 3 big baskets, 6 points in the second period. He misses it. Woods couldn't tap it in. Brunson with a big rebound. Can't get the foul, but there's going to be a foul against Classical, and it's against McKenzie. And that's his third. And the young freshman doing a great job here for Salem.
Yeah, many people in the city of Salem feel that Rick Brunson will be one of the finest players in Salem High history. You know, very intelligent kid, good with the schoolwork, you know, and a hell of a player to boot.
He just made a great play going to the basket and scoring. Now he just made a big play getting the rebound inside and drawing a foul on McKenzie.
Yeah,
and he hits the first one.
I think, John, people would have heard of Brunson by now, but the problem was he sprained his ankle very bad in the preseason, and this is the second game back, as a matter of fact.
Can't get the second one to fall. The ball goes out of bounds, it'll be Classical basketball. But it's a 4-point lead for Salem, for Classical, excuse me, after they had led by 19 in the first period.
And Salem has arrested Leo Jacobs and Carlos Rivera on the bench.
Classical is going to be very patient now, work the clock down, and make sure they get a good shot. Anderson can't get the foul. Woods with a big rebound. Hammonds pushes the ball up court.
Salem's got to spread their offense out a little bit. They're all bunched up together. Too many guys in one area.
Candelaria now with the jump shot. Can't get the fall. Woods with a strong rebound, lays it in. And as quick as you can blink, it's 56-54 and only a 2-point lead for Classical.
I'll tell you, I think Tommy Grass's team needs a timeout right now. The kids seem to be getting a little unraveled.
Offensive foul on David Anderson.
I'll tell you.
And Salem has a chance to tie the ball game.
Yeah, fantastic play by Jeff Woods. That's just an out-of-control play by David Anderson. David should know better. He's a senior. He's a leader out there. Should have maybe pulled up John for the jump shot. I'll tell you, this is the kind of game we figured on coming in.
It didn't look that way after the first period. Hammonds with the long jump shot, can't get the ball. Manalese with a big rebound. Robert Johnson going to the basket. No basket! No basket! And everything came out in the court that time.
I'll tell you, somebody let the beats out of the zoo. too, John.
I don't know what happened here. Robert Johnson got called for an offensive foul. His first. The basket was up and in, but it's not going to count.
I'll tell you, the referees are doing the best job they can to control this. What we have here is a very heated crowd and two very heated coaches.
This, I hate to say this could turn into an incident, but it could turn into an incident. There's a lot of heated people here in the stands. And I don't know why, because it's a great basketball game to watch.
Yeah.
It would be unfortunate if anything happened.
I'll tell you, John, I'm pretty close to both coaches. I think what you're seeing here is a little bait and switch. I think both coaches are trying to give the officials a little bit to think about coming down the stretch.
We don't know how much time is left because we can't see the clock. Now we're told there are 4 minutes, so we're halfway through the fourth quarter.
I think what's happening right now, Jack, is Jack Laysbrook, the official, is telling Jeff Burrell to have his home crowd kind of cool it and get a little bit out of control.
Yeah, both officials waiting now. Robert Johnson made a strong move, and in all honesty, I didn't see an offensive foul. I thought Bobby Johnson turned and got by the defensive player, but the referee didn't see it that way. He called it offensive foul. The ball went in off the glass. Most people thought it was going to be a three-point play. It turned out to be an offensive foul, no basket, and it's still a 2-point lead for Glasgow, but now Salem has the basketball.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, John. I think that first offensive foul was an excellent call. This one here, the block call is a very difficult call for the officials, but I agree with you, John. I do think it was not an offensive foul. I think it was a block myself.
It's a tough call, especially when you figure it's the home team. And not to say that the officials are supposed to be homers, but generally the home team gets those kind of calls in games like this.
Yeah, I don't think that entered into. I think Jack Laysbrook is a good.
Oh no, I'm sure it didn't.
Yeah, Jack Laysbrook's a good official, and John Jaworski is very familiar with Jack O'Brien and Tommy Grasso.
No question, they call it the way they saw it. It's just that most people it's a formality that the home team generally gets calls, like whether it's the NBA, college, or high school, or anywhere for that matter. But he didn't hesitate 1 second in making the call. He blew the whistle right away and gave the call. So there was no doubt in his mind what the call was.
Yeah, I think this extra long timeout is because just to give both teams a chance to cool off, kind of quiet down, and get back in the flow of this basketball game.
I think the biggest thing is to get the fans to cool down a little bit. It's seen the John Dahms come down to our end of the court, so he can breathe a little easier now. Our equipment might be protected. The cops are down here.
You know, John, at the Palestra in Philadelphia, they have a sort of thing when they score their first basket, the crowd throws newspapers on the floor. I think we're almost at the Palestra right here.
Except it wasn't for the same reason. There's some wet spots now because a lot of debris was thrown out on the floor. Obviously, the Glasgow fans did not like the call. The Salem fans thought it was a good call, but as usual, the officials are going to be 50% right and 50% wrong. So as we can see, the janitors out here with John Jaworski, and the other officials are wiping up spots as they see wet spots all over.
I'll tell you, you know, John, you know what gets me upset as a coach, and I'm sure it bothers you too, is that both teams were just getting into this basketball game. We're coming down the stretch. Salem has cut it to 2, and unfortunately, we got to put up with a little bit of, arrogance from the crowd, and I hope that both teams can get back to playing the basketball they started playing at the end of the third quarter.
I would think that this delay would help Classical because Salem didn't want the clock to stop at all. They wanted to keep running and gunning. They've outscored Classical 11-4 in this period after outscoring them 20-15 in the third period, and they got right back in the game. They've got the lead now as close as they've ever been, down to 2, and they're going to have the basketball with a chance to tie it up. But this may give Classical a little chance to get a little bit of a breather and calm down a little bit because they've been up-tempoing when they really didn't have to, being up by a lot. They could have been patient and waited for the good shot, and they didn't protect the basketball as well as they should have, and Salem has taken advantage.
Sure, and it goes doubly, too, because Lynn Classical predominantly only plays 5 or 6 basketball players, while Salem plays 9 players.
And I think this is like a videotape replay of the first half, except they switched uniforms. Classical in the first half could do nothing wrong, and Salem could do nothing right, and Classical built up the early lead. Now it's just the opposite. Classical with the turnovers and the missed shots, and Salem getting a little bit ignited here. And Jeff Woods has come on to give them a real big spurt with some big rebounds and a couple of big baskets. And we're looking now at a 2-point game with Salem in control of the basketball with a chance to tie it up.
Yeah, I think Salem, Leo Jacobs and Jeff Woods were very quiet in that first half, but they sure made their presence felt here in the second half.
Again, we'll repeat the long delays you can see on the screen. A lot of stuff going on in the court, a lot of debris. They want to make sure nobody gets hurt. That's the big thing. Wins and losses are fine, but nobody wants to see anybody from either team get hurt out here.
I'll tell you, and the Classical Rams are still down at their defensive end, just begging for this game to start. Of course, they want to get back in the flow of the game, too.
They've got their starting lineup back in Classical. Kyle Cox is back in with the 4 fouls. Salem in control. Hammonds with the basketball. Brunson outside. The shot was in and out by Bobby Ward. And that's the closest that Salem has come in the ball game to tying it up. That ball was in the basket and popped out again.
Yeah. Coach O'Brien showing great faith in freshman Rick Brunson at this point.
3-point shot by Middle Ace is no good. Woods with a big rebound. And the Classical fans are so used to seeing Flynn Middle Ace hit that 3-point shot that they thought it was in.
I'll tell you, I'd be very surprised at this point if Coach O'Brien didn't go back to Leo Jacobs, seeing as he dominated that third quarter.
I'm surprised he's been out this long. He's not really in foul trouble. Ward with the big jump shot. Can't get the fall. Tipped up, no good by Candelaria. And Lincoln McKenzie was playing a great game for Classical. Clears the rebound. David Anderson, both coaches up on the court, pleading with their teams.
Seems like Jimmy Valvano and Rolly Massimino here.
Both coaches have become 6 players out on the floor. They're up screaming, talking to their ball clubs.
I'll tell you, what the Rams don't want is Lincoln McKenzie to handle the ball at the top of the key. The ball should be handled by the people that can handle the basketball. David Anderson, Cavell Cox, Flynn Manalese.
Cavell Cox goes to the ball and lays it in. A big basket for Classical. And I'm really surprised that Jacobs is still on the bench.
I think he's reporting in now, John.
Bobby Ward doing a great job getting 2 rebounds and laying the ball up and in.
Yeah, I
and
think
it's still a 2-point game.
I think you'll see Jacobs report in for Rick Brunson, seeing as Bobby Ward's giving him a great lift.
From the corner. Robert Johnson. Classical being very patient on offense. The ball's tucked in, taken away by Jeff Woods. And again, Salem with a chance to tie up the ball game. Brunson with a jump shot from the corner.
I'll tell you.
Classical wants a timeout. And they finally get it. It was a 2-point shot, I wasn't sure. And Rick Brunson doing a tremendous job off the bench.
I'll tell you, outstanding action here at the Lynn Classical Gymnasium. The Witches have come back from, John, what were they down, 14 at one point?
They were down 19 in the first period. They cut it to 14. They cut it to 17 at the end of 1, 14 at the end of 2. They were down 9 at the end of 3. And now they fought back to tie the ball game up. And Rick Brunson, for a 9th grader, and we got to say, a true 9th grader, is just doing a fantastic job. That's showed no problems whatsoever. Had ice in his veins. Just threw the ball up and hit nothing but net.
Sure. And I love this too, Coach. From a coaching perspective now, who does Coach O'Brien put Leo Jacobs in for? Does he put him in for Bobby Ward, or does he put him in for Rick Brunson?
I think he puts him in for Rick Brunson because Bobby Ward's doing a pretty good job on David Anderson right now. Anderson had 6 points in the 3rd period, but he's yet to score here in the 4th period. And Bobby Ward is covering him. So there's less than 2 minutes. We get the signal that there's less than 2 minutes to play in the ball game, and Salem has fought back to tie the ball game up at 58.
I'll tell you, you hit it right on the head, too. He's in for Rick Brunson. I think you want to keep Bobby Wood for the rebounding. Also, Bobby Wood's doing an excellent job on Davey Anderson in the man-to-man defense.
Classical inbounds to Anderson. Goes to the basket, takes the shot. Can't get it to fall. Meanwhile, gets a tip. Anderson with a big rebound. Ducks his head and lays it in. A big play by David Anderson.
Witch is going to be patient right now. Maybe look low to Jeff Woods for an easy 2 points.
Hammonds with the jump shot. Can't get the foul. Big rebound by Manolese. And Klasko will be in no hurry to shoot the basketball now, I wouldn't think. Big steal by Bobby Wood. Great defense by Robert Johnson as he cut him off on the basket. Foul's going to be on Leo Jacobs. A great defensive play by Robert Johnson. And Warren had a great opportunity. If he stopped and faked, he might have got Robert Johnson out of bounds. Yeah. An easy layup. But he chose to go in, and Robert Johnson just used his body extremely well.
Yeah, that's a great hustle steal by Bobby Ward. Unfortunately, he's a little bit out of control going to the basket. You can't fault his effort.
Klasko not in the penalty yet. Salem has not reached the limit yet, so it's inbounds. It's a non-shooting foul. Inbound the ball to David Anderson. They'd like to have the ball in his hands. He's their best free throw shooter. Klasko now just holding the basketball. And the foul is going to be on, I believe it's on Jacobs.
Yeah, it's on Leo Jacobs. And I'll tell you, if we're in the 1-on-1, that's a tough foul because Dave Anderson is a very good foul shooter. And we are in the 1-on-1, John.
So it's going to be David Anderson going to the line, looking to give his team a 4-point lead. Unofficially, we're told there are 28 seconds left. So if David makes both of these, Salem's going to take a timeout to try and ice the shooter. And it's awful hard for us to see anything here in the corner. We've got everybody and his brother cutting in front of us, trying to see what's happening on the floor. So we're going to have to look right at the monitor, I think, Jimmy. We see the clock now. It looks like there's about 30 seconds left to play in the ballgame. David McCarthy, our cameraman, our producer, giving us a fine shot of the clock.
I'll tell you, you know what may come into play, John? Just like on our preview show, the Witches won't be out of this basketball game because we have the 3-point strike. So even if Dave Anderson hits 2 shots here, Salem can come down, get a quick 2, or throw it up from 3-point. They have the people that can do it. Leo Jacobs, Rick Brentz is a very good shooter, and Dave Candelaria can also hit it.
It all boils down to what David Anderson does in the foul line. He's going to make the first one in order to get the second one. If he does, Salem can be a little patient and look for the tie shot if he misses. They'll have to go very quickly if he makes one or both because they can't be assured they're going to hit a 3-point shot. They may have to take a quick 2 and foul again immediately. So this last 30 seconds could take about a week. Right now it all is on David Anderson's shoulders, and I'm sure that's where the young man would like to have it. Nobody more confident than David at the foul line.
He's been playing varsity 4 years. I think you couldn't pick a better person at the foul line on the stretch of a game.
Well, we talked about David not being shut down earlier in the 4th period. He got a big rebound, laid the ball in for a big basket to put him ahead. Now he's at the line shooting, and he makes the big free throw. So it's a big 4-point lead now. Salem pushes the ball up to Hammonds with the little jump shot. He hits it. Right away, Salem takes a timeout.
I'll tell you, the Witches are very well coached. They knew in advance if they were going to hit a jump shot or hit a layup to call a timeout, stop that clock.
We see Coach O'Brien with his boys in a huddle. There's no question they're going to put full court pressure on. They'll try to steal the basketball if they can. If they can't steal it, they'll foul as soon as the ball gets inbounds and try not to run any time off the clock if they can help it. This is the situation, though. They don't have a choice as to who they can foul. They'd like to wait until maybe a Lincoln McKenzie could handle a basketball, but it's not going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if Tommy Gresser made a substitution right now and maybe put Duke Wilson in, who's a little better free throw shooter than.
Yeah. could be good strategy. If Lincoln is in the game here down the stretch, look for the Witches to sort out Lincoln and grab him. I tell you, even give him 2-shot foul, John. Even give him the 2 shots rather than have Flynn Manalese or Dave Anderson shoot foul shots.
I'm sure Classical's strategy is going to be trying to get the ball in the hands of David Anderson. So we're down to 18 seconds left to play in the ball game. 62 to 60. At the end of the first period, we thought this was going to be a blowout.
The Witches are not going to foul right away. They want to try and get a quick steal.
If they get the ball inbounds, look for the foul. And now they do. They substitute Duke Wilson for Lincoln McKenzie. Duke is a better free throw shooter. Lincoln has played a tremendous ball game for him, though. The pass, long pass, now court to David Anderson. He pulls up, and he's going to get fouled to go to the foul line. Good strategy by Classical. As quickly as they could, they got the ball in the hands of their best free throw shooter. And Duke Wilson right away is substituted for as Lincoln McKenzie goes back in the ball game.
Once again, the Witches couldn't have picked the worst guy to be at the foul line in this spot. Obviously, Flynn Manalese is a great shooter, but Dave Anderson has been around 4 years. He's been through these type of situations before. Let's see how he makes out now.
He scored the last 4 points for Classical. You get him this cushion. He's at the free throw now. And he made a very declarative statement there. He hit nothing but net. And this is the one that will sink the Bismarck, I believe, Jimmy. He makes this one. It's a 4-point lead. And he does.
The Witches need some quick points.
Classical looking for the basketball. Hammonds gets it back. Over to Jacobs. Out for the 3-point shot. Blocked by Bobby Johnson. Ahead to David Anderson. He pulls the ball outside and he's fouled again. And the buzzer sounds and the ball game is over. David Anderson only got 6 points in the 4th quarter. But the game when the score was tied. And he got the last 6 points. And he wins the ball game for Classical in a stunning upset after Salem made a big comeback from 19 down to tie the ball game. But Classical wouldn't be denied.
That was worth 3 bucks. I'll tell you, that's a great effort by the Lynn Classical Rams tonight. What you said, John, a fantastic upset. But one thing, it's early in the season. Coach O'Brien knows it. Coach Grasser knows it. The Witches are going to have games like this. What a great, great basketball game tonight at the Lynn Classical Gym.
It's just great high school basketball. Both teams could have folded their tents. Salem down 19 could have packed it in and said, it's not our night, we'll try some other night. After they come back and tied the ball game up, Salem, Classicals could have very easily said, we ran out of gas, it's tough for us to do this. But they tightened their belt, and David Anderson took over in the closing minutes. Bobby Watt held them scoreless through late in the 3rd period, through most of the 4th period. And just as we started to talk about it, he came up with a big basket to give him a lead, and then 4 free throws at the end to make the difference in the ballgame.
Sure, he's the leader out there. He's the senior. You want the ball in his hands or Flynn Manalese's hands? I think Lynn Classical, the other players, did a great job of getting him the ball down the stretch.
Classical only scores 27 points in the 2nd half, but the big first period carries them through. So we're going to take a break right here. We're going to try and get Tommy Gressa. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The drug problem in our communities and schools is even worse than most adults imagine.